Good morning. Today, my husband and I are headed up to Portland to have a little date day. We are going to go to Powell's bookstore, and I'm hoping to find some of the books I wasn't able to find on my list a couple weeks ago. Neither of us have actually been to Powell's, so I think we should have a lot of fun there. We're also going to go to a vegan restaurant called Dirty Lettuce that I've been hearing great things about, and then hopefully go to the Portland Rose Garden. We have not been there for about 8 or 9 years, so it'll be fun to go see that. We actually took this Friday off to have an extra day and go do this, so we're looking forward to it, and we thought we'd take you with us, so let's go have a little adventure. So it's been a few weeks since we went on our Portland adventure. We had a lot of fun in Powell's. I ended up buying way too many books and had to put a bunch of them back because I was way over my budget, which was really sad because I definitely wanted all of them, but I could only get three. And then we went to lunch at Dirty Lettuce. It was a Southern style vegan restaurant that I found from other people online that recommended it, and it was really, really yummy. We um, we split a chicken burger and then calamari made from oyster mushrooms, and those were amazing. They were so good. Um, but we ordered way too much food and kind of made ourselves sick afterwards because we're not used to eating fried food very much. So we definitely splurged, but totally worth it. And then unfortunately, we didn't have time to go to the Rose Garden like I had wanted to, but we just ran out of time. But that's okay, it'll be open all summer, so hopefully later on we can get up there. But today I thought we'd talk books, and you may have noticed that I cut my hair. I just wanted some shorter locks for summer. It was getting a little scraggly, and so I just probably cut like 3 or 4 inches off, but I really love it. It's giving granola girl vibes, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm really happy I did it. But yeah, I really love my hair, and it's like the perfect timing because we're in the middle of a summer heat wave. It's been over 100 the last few days, and it'll continue all next week. Anyways, let's talk books. I won't go into detail about all the books I've read since my last video, just because I'm up to like 22 and that would take forever, but here's just the ones that I've bought since Powell's and have started reading. I think maybe towards fall or even the end of the year I'll do like a full book list of what I've read this year and give my ratings and opinions about them all. But here's what I got from Powell's the other week. The first one is Warmth from Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson. I read her other book, Cast. This is the first book she wrote. I wouldn't say it's a prequel, but they are linked as far as their content. This one is about America's largest migration of people, Black Americans specifically, from the South into the North and West Coast from, I think, the start of World War I is when it kind of began through the 70s, but this one follows 3 individuals and their choices that led to their migration choices from 1930s through the 50s, and in it the author has a lot of content from like that time frame of what's going around in America and the South specifically during those times as to what would lead to everyone's decision to leave. I think I would read them in order of Cast first and then this one, because if you read Cast and aren't familiar with the caste system, that'll give you a really good idea of what she talks about in this one. So that's how I would recommend if you are interested in reading either of these, but really good so far. It is a really dense book, so my pace has slowed while I've been reading this, but that's okay because it's really good and I want to take my time and make sure like that I'm really reading through it and digesting the information. So this one's good. The other one I got from Powell's is The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober. I actually read this one earlier this year and really liked it enough to get my own copy. I read her other book, Unexpected Joy of the Ordinary, at the very beginning of this year. That one I did not like, but this one was really good. So I recommend this if you are thinking about going sober or are sober or just want to decrease your alcohol content. This one is really good. Story, like memoir from the author's experience. She drank pretty heavily, but finally realized that it wasn't doing her any good in her life. So yeah, highly recommend this one. The last one I got from Powell's was Tortilla Flat by John Steinbeck. He is one where I haven't made up my mind if I like him as an author or not yet. I've read a couple books that I've really liked, including East of Eden, but then I've read a couple books that I have really disliked, including Grapes of Wrath, and unfortunately Tortilla Flats is one that I also now dislike after reading it. I know John Steinbeck is known for writing stories about underrepresented people and lower classes, but I felt like this was really stereotypical and racist, and just, it didn't paint these individuals in a good light, so unfortunately I did not like it. So after Powell's, I actually went to the thrift store and got a couple more books, and the first one I got was Time Traveler's Wife. I read that one and really disliked it, which was unfortunate because I've heard good things, like it got good reviews, the movie was decent, but I felt like the book, the main female character was being groomed by the male character from early childhood, from when she first meets him, and it just got really gross during her teenage years, and it was icky to me. I don't know if any of you have read it. If you have, I'd really like to know what you guys thought of it, because to me it was gross. I would not recommend that one. I gave it a 1 star. But one that I really liked that I also got at the thrift store is Where the Crawdad Sings. This one was really good. It's like part thriller mystery, part nature memoir, and the writing is really beautiful, and the main character is just pretty unique, and it was a really good book. I have not seen the movie, but my husband said it was really good, and he was actually really excited that I brought this book home because he really enjoyed watching the movie. So book was excellent, and I'm eventually going to watch the movie and see how I like that one. But excellent book. And then, since I didn't have my fill of books yet, I went online and bought some more that I wasn't able to find in Powell's that I ended up putting back on the shelf because I ran out of money, and I still really wanted these books. So first one I got was Anne of Green Gables, and I was looking, they had plenty of copies there for like under $5, so I could have bought it, but I was really looking for like a nice hardback copy, so I got this one. I think it's part of the Wordworth collection, but it's just super cute. This collection has a lot of children's literature in it, like Secret Garden and Wind in the Willows. Both are on my reading list, so eventually I'll get those copies, but I'm going to start with this one. I read it originally in the 6th grade and haven't read it since. Really enjoyed watching Anne with an E, and so I am curious how my perspective of Anne will change from then to now. I think I'll do its own video on that because I'm just really curious on how my perception will change, and I'm not going to tell you why I think that, just so, because I don't want to ruin it for you. So I think I'll do a separate video just on this book once I'm done reading it. And then the other couple books that I really wanted from Powell's but decided to wait is After You, and the other one is Still Me. These two are the sequels to Me Before You, which I read earlier this spring. That one was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It definitely brought tears to my eyes. So yeah, I'm really hoping I like these just as much because the first one was amazing. And once I read these, if they're just as good, I'll probably buy a copy of the original for myself. That one I had borrowed from the library, so I don't have a copy of that one. But I'm kind of, in order to save money on books, the ones I'm not sure if I will like, I'm trying to borrow from library or like find elsewhere for cheap, and then if I love them, then I'll get them for my collection. But that one I really liked, so I will probably add that one later. And then the last book that I got is Unmasking Autism. This one I had really wanted from Powell's but put back because I was over my spending limit. But I just kept thinking about this one several days afterwards, so I finally bought it online. I'm reading that one, and I have one more coming about autism. Specifically, it's called What I Say When I Mean I'm Autistic. And I'm reading these books specifically so that I can take notes and hopefully pass them to like my mom and family members to kind of help them relate to me more post-diagnosis, because it's really hard for me to explain why I feel and experience the world I do. So I'm hoping these books can do it for me, and I'm just gonna like highlight things and make notes that pertain to me specifically. I really also enjoy reading these books to like connect with others in the community, because since it is a spectrum of everyone has different traits, so it's interesting to see how others on the spectrum, how they live their lives and what they experienced growing up. And it also helps me to remember things that happened in my childhood that I like either had forgotten, or I do similar things and it'll spark like a, oh yeah, I remember doing that too. So it's nice because like I've never really related to other people in that sense. As far as like quirky traits, I've always thought those were things that just I did, but it turns out there's a whole community that does them. So it's nice having that connection. So yeah, those are the books I'm reading. I've put myself on a book ban for the rest of the summer, probably until September. Once I finish all these, then I will allow myself to get some more, but I think this will keep me busy for quite a while, and I'm excited to get reading. If you guys have read any of these that I've shared, I would love to hear your guys' opinions, or if you have any book recommendations that you think that I'd like, I'd love to know, because reading has brought a lot of joy to me this year, and I'm excited to keep going through them. But yeah, I hope you guys are staying safe and cool this weekend, and beating the heat, because it is brutal out there. But I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you all next week.